I have held us back so many times by wanting opposite things. I don't want a big team. At the same very next breath, I'm like, I wish our brands were 3 times bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Those two things can't coexist.
Yep.
Yet I say them both like they're both truth. And so what does that do? It causes you to be stuck in the middle of the two. And being stuck in the middle is the worst place to be.
Welcome, everybody, to the Chris Harder Show, where we are making you unapologetic about your pursuit of success, knowing that when good people like you make good money, they can then do great things. My name is Chris Harder, and several times per week, I will bring you epic guests, solo episodes, and every single tool, trick, and skill set you need to grow your business, grow your money mindset, and to grow your wealth to levels that you have never reached before. I've ended up in a unique place in life where I've got the experience, the connections, and all of the secrets that it takes to be successful. And I'm lifting the curtain to reveal it all to you in an effort to help put you in a position of abundance so great that you can then be as generous as possible. So let's lock arms and let's get started.
And we're back.
With another episode of He Said, She Said.
And I love the subject that we're about to get into today. But I got to ask you your glossy tip. Got to keep it going.
Glossy tip, it's that time of year. You guys are going to hit January 1st, and you are going to be wishing that you ordered your glossy to help you feel less bloated and to have something that you can get into a routine right away. It's going to help you drink more water. It's going to help you get that glowing skin. It's going to help with your gut health. And that is such a huge part of feeling better, feeling healthier. For so many people, they have health goals. They want to lose weight. I'm telling you, if you want to absorb more nutrients, feel better, feel less bloated, wake up feeling leaner, this is such a great kickstart. And you guys, stay tuned. We're going to be doing a free glossy challenge that you can all join. So make sure you go follow the Instagram as well. So you can go to getglossy.com and use code HAPPY. And that's getglossy, GETGLOCI.com.
All right. And I just want to add something to that. Like straight up, no agenda, not because you're my wife, not because it's your product. The dude's version of this. I take 2 a day and I feel really like way debloated, like way leaner, and feel way better because I don't drink water otherwise. And when I don't take 2 a day, I don't feel that way. Last night we had sushi.
Drink water.
Last night we went out for sushi. Before I went to bed, I got a double glossy water and I woke up feeling not bloated like I normally do after sushi. I'm telling you, this is the key to fix any damage that you do over the holidays. So seriously, go to getglossy.com and use coupon code HAPPY to get 25% off. All right. One more thing too. The applications coming in for the Elite Level Mastermind, which you are now a part of running.
Yes.
God, I freaking love that you're a part of this now. Have been awesome. They are now just like someone turned on the faucet and they're flowing in. But to give you an idea, and don't let this shy you away from applying, it's our job to curate the perfect room where everything you need is in that room or one ask away, right? And so not all applications make it to an interview. And yesterday I went through about 40 of them and I set about 12 interviews. So I want the best possible applications in front of me. I want the best possible people in that room who are absolutely going to be incredible collaborators with each other, locking arms for an entire year and help us fulfill that promise, so that we have diversity in the room, so that everything that you want that year is in that room or one introduction away.
Mm-hmm. I can't wait.
Yeah. So literally just hit pause real quick. If you're going to make over 500 grand in 2025, just hit pause and go to chrisharder.me/mastermind and click apply. That's chrisharder.me.me/mastermind. Go find the apply button and click apply. And then I'll look through the applications. I'll set an appointment to jump on Zoom with you and make sure it's a perfect fit. All right. Here's why I love today's subject. You can't want 2 opposite things at once and think you're going to have a good outcome.
Mm-hmm.
And I have done this like my whole life. Like people might outside looking in be like, oh, you guys are a success story. Oh, you guys do so well. Yes. But on different scales, we're nowhere near our dreams. And I'm only going to speak about me. I can't speak about you. I have held us back so many times by wanting opposite things. And I'm going to give you an example, and I'll let you weigh in on this.
Oh, I'm all ears.
I simultaneously say things like, I don't want a big team. At the same very next breath, I'm like, I wish our brands were 3 times bigger.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Making 3 times more money.
Mm-hmm.
Those two things can't coexist.
Yep.
Yet I say them both like they're both truth. And so what does that do? It causes you to be stuck in the middle of the two. And being stuck in the middle is the worst place to be. Either be all the way one way or all the way the other way. That is the only happiness zone.
Yeah.
Stuck in the middle is the unhappiness zone. You're always wishing you had both things and you have neither.
Mm-hmm.
So what's one of your examples where you wish for opposite things and it gets you stuck in the middle?
Well, it's not only wishing for opposite things, because some of you are going to be like, you may have a clear one. Some of you are like, I don't know. No, I don't have an opposite thing. I really want more money. I really want the big house. I really want that friend group, right? But unconsciously,
Yes,
you have a conflicting belief that you have to get to the root of. So I'll use a basic one. There's so many people who want to be in an up-leveled friend group. And you're like, God damn it. Why can't I get in this friend group? Like, why aren't they letting me in? Why am I not attracting those people? But unconsciously, you know that in order to stay in that friend group and in order to continue to grow and be the version of the person who can add value to that friend group, that maybe you have to stop doing some habits you don't want to be doing. Maybe you secretly really like getting shit-faced on the weekends, and that won't really apply in this particular group. That's just a random example. Maybe you feel like, oh my God, now I have to be really accountable to these goals. And you know what? Honestly, I really love slacking off and partying on the weekends a little bit, or I really love watching my Netflix and I can't seem to let that go to reach these goals that I'm telling people.
Boy, that makes sense. Like, oh, I really want to be a part of this group, or why can't I have a group of friends like that? And at the same time, you're like, oh, I know they're going to demand more out of me. I know they're going to demand a better me.
They're going to hold you to it.
And I kind of like, having these party nights. I kind of like having these lazy days or whatever it might be. Mm-hmm. And listen, there's no right or wrong way to do life. This whole point is you can't want two things that oppose each other, because you're just going to get stuck in the middle. And whether that's a subconscious want or a conscious want, because you're right, a lot of this is subconscious.
Mm-hmm. And I have another example. So for me personally, it's like, I have a goal of what I want to hit with Glossy this year. And I have a goal of what we want to hit with our personal brands. And I have an underlying conflicting belief that I've discovered of, I already feel exhausted. I'm going to feel too exhausted if I'm going to set those goals. So I secretly have been sabotaging myself without even realizing it, because I'm like, yes, I want that, but I've been really afraid to actually commit my soul to it, like to commit my brain to it 100%, because I'm so afraid that I'm going to burn out. Mm-hmm. Like for me, if I don't get some downtime and if I don't get some fun time, I don't get the ideas that can get me to those numbers. So for me, what I'm writing down and what I'm doing to get over this. So if you just found that you have a conflicting belief, what I want you to do first is to write down the things that you want to do. And then I want you to go into the nooks and crannies of your brain and figure out what is a belief that could potentially be holding you back around getting that thing. Like where is it challenging you?
Where did it come from?
Where did it even come from? What are you afraid of?
I have an example, and this can be good for everyone. Lori just nailed it, you guys. You got to dig deep, like take the time to dig deep and say, where did this story come from? Because all it is a story. Lori can quadruple Glossy and quadruple our personal brand and still not be too busy. So we know these are stories we're making up because there's ways around everything. So I'll give you an example. We were in Costa Rica, and I'm not going to name the names, but we were with a couple that we're good friends with. And I'm like, hey man, how's it going? Haven't seen you in a while. And he's like, honestly, not good. And I'm like, oh God, what's going on? Why is it not going well? He's like, I just woke up one day and felt like all I do is manage people. And they had, a great big company. It was thriving. And I was expecting him to be like, oh my God, this is awesome. It's great. This is winning and that's winning. And it was the first time this very positive person I had ever seen him kind of like disappointed or dejected or like not in a great spot. And he went on to say, he's like, I started out growing this thing by just doing what we love. And we did what we love so well that we started bringing on lots of people to support it. And then our dreams got really big. And then we needed a really big team. He goes, and now I wake up and all I do is hire and fire and manage human issues and be responsible for like these 50 people. And that moment stuck with me. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, I don't ever want to wake up and say, oh, what happened to the fun days? Now all I do is manage and hire and fire. And so that's always weighed on me. And instead of saying, well, that's one person's version of it, there's different ways to get there. That's where I don't want a big team, yet I have these big dreams, conflict came from.
And I feel the same way, because I actually do not want a big team in Glossy. I want to run it small and tight. And so what I am doing is I'm looking for examples of companies who do have smaller teams and how they're doing that. And I'm not saying that we have to stay small. Like maybe the number is bigger than I thought, but how are they managing these people? And look for the stories that are the good stories, because for as many negative stories as there are plenty that are like, we love our team. Like we're obsessed. We've got someone who's so good at managing team and they love doing it and they love company culture that we don't really even have to do that. And so that's something that I am clinging to. And also this year, it's like, I'm doing a lot of work around getting the help that I need to break through kind of these plateau areas. I'm getting help in social media. I'm getting help with media training. I'm getting help with storytelling. All of these things that I'm like, no, I don't need help. I should just be good at this. I can go learn on my own. No, I cannot. I need someone to help me. I need someone to kind of create the guidebook for me that I can follow. And I need, oh my God, do I need accountability. And that's changing my life, because it's dates in the calendar where I meet with the people to get the work done. Because if it's just done on my own, I don't do it.
You just said something. I want to make sure everybody caught it. If step one is identifying where the limiting belief came from, conscious or subconscious, then step two is what Lori said. And that is, you need to go find new evidence to support the dream that you do have in the way you want to have it. Because there's always two examples of every single story out there. Always. So sure, there's plenty of people saying, oh, my team's too big and I'm not having fun managing them. But then for every one of them, there's one or two people saying, actually, I dialed in perfect. I've got the perfect CEO or COO or perfect chief of staff, and they run everything and I just do the creative. And there's always a story for both versions. I call it stacking evidence. You have to go out and purposely look for and stack the evidence in your favor for the belief that you want to hold, because the evidence isn't going to fall in your lap. You want to know what falls in your lap? The loudest information falls in your lap. And the loudest information is typically the complainers.
Always.
And so it's not going to fall in your lap, all these good examples. You have to actively say, okay, I'm going to go stack evidence to reinforce the beliefs that I do want to have. And I'm going to look for it. I'm going to look for the founders. I'm going to look for the stories. I'm going to look for the examples. I'm going to look for the relationships. I'm going to look for the whatever, so that you can then have enough overwhelming evidence in your conscious and in your subconscious that says, oh, I know how to do this. Let's go. Let's roll up the sleeves. No more conflicting beliefs. I have one belief, and that is exactly what I want.
I think the biggest work that we can do for the new year is this. Like, of course, actionable things, but we can do all the actionable things in the world. But if you are holding that little unconscious, little secret to yourself, conflicting belief, you will be fighting a double uphill battle. It's like we're already trying to get the thing that we want and stay in that energy. But if there is an energy that you are holding that you don't even realize that's actually such a big block, it's working on letting that go and figuring out how you can become the person who's all in on the dream.
I love it. All right, guys. Well, listen, if you want other people, like-minded people to do this with, remember what I said in the beginning, sounding things like this out and finding evidence to look how you want it to look means putting yourself into rooms where people are already doing that. And that is our elite level entrepreneur mastermind. So now that we're at the end of this thing, hit stop and go to chrisharder.me/mastermind, fill out the application. We can't wait to jump on a Zoom and see if it's a great fit. chrisharder.me/mastermind. All right, guys, thanks for listening. We always love and appreciate you.
We will see you next week.
Thanks for listening. And if you loved this episode and know of someone else who is as successful as they are generous, please pass them on to me. It would mean the world to me if you help me get this cause and this message out to as many listeners as I can. So please, if you liked what you heard, it goes a long way if you take 30 seconds and leave me a 5-star review and share this with your friends. I'll be forever grateful. And until the next episode, cheers to your success.